We've all been there. It's 3 a.m., the world is quiet, but your mind is screaming. You're replaying that one awkward thing you said at a party 5 years ago, analyzing a single word text message as if it were a complex legal document, or staring at a simple decision what to eat for lunch, whether to send that email, and treating it like a life or death choice. This is the exhausting, relentless world of overthinking. I used to be the king of overthinking. My brain could take a tiny, insignificant worry and spin it into a full blown, catastrophic disaster movie in a matter of seconds. It felt like my mind was a runaway train, and I was just tied to the tracks, watching the disaster unfold. But after years of research and a lot of personal trial and error, I discovered something shocking. Overthinking doesn't make you smarter. It doesn't make you more prepared. It just makes you tired. I found 7 simple, practical rules that finally shut off the noise. The best part? They are so easy you can start using them today to reclaim your peace of mind. Rule 1, the 5-second decision rule. Your brain is like a toddler with a why addiction. If you let it, it will question every single choice you make endlessly. Why this sandwich? What if the other one is better? What if this one has too much mayo? This is called analysis paralysis, and it's a core component of overthinking. The solution is to give your brain less time to argue with itself. This is the 5-second decision rule. When you are faced with a small, low-stakes decision, you give yourself a 5-second countdown. The moment you notice yourself beginning to hesitate or spiral, you start the clock. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you hit 1, you make a decision and take physical action. This works because most of our daily decisions are reversible. You can get a different sandwich tomorrow. You can send a follow-up email. The cost of delaying and the mental energy you waste agonizing over the choice almost always higher than the risk of making the wrong decision. Your first instinct is often better than your 17th overanalyzed version. Rule 2, the fact check. Imagine your anxious thoughts are spam emails flooding your inbox. 90% of them are scams designed to steal your peace of mind. When your brain sends you a message like, you messed up, or this is definitely going to fail, it's time to open your mental spam filter and investigate the sender. This is the fact check rule. Instead of immediately believing the thought, you put it on trial. Ask yourself, is this thought coming from facts or from fear? Is there actual, concrete evidence to support this worry? Or is it based on vague feelings and assumptions? Scan the thought for viruses, cognitive distortions like catastrophizing, assuming the worst will happen, or mind reading, assuming you know what others are thinking. Finally, mark it as junk. A great way to do this is to ask yourself, would a smart, rational friend agree with this thought? Almost always, the answer is no. For an extra boost, keep a receipts notepad. Whenever you have an anxious prediction, write it down. Later, go back and note whether it came true. You'll quickly see that your brain overreacts a lot, and you'll have the evidence to prove it. Rule 3, the worry window. Your mind can be like a needy coworker who constantly interrupts you with urgent tasks all day long. If you try to ignore them completely, they just get louder. But if you give in every time, you'll never get anything done. The solution is to set office hours. This is the worry window. Designate a specific limited time slot each day, say 10 minutes at 5 o'clock p.m., exclusively for worrying. When an anxious thought pops up at any other time, acknowledge it and say, noted, I'll see you at 5. This isn't suppression, it's postponement. You're validating the thought, but refusing to let it derail your present moment. During your official worry window, you can let the thoughts come. Spend your 10 minutes actively brainstorming solutions for the problems you can fix, and consciously letting go of the ones you can't. You'll be surprised to find that about 80% of your emergencies will have expired before their scheduled appointment. Rule 4, body over mind. Overthinking is a purely mental activity. It traps you in your head, making you feel disconnected from your body and the world around you. Think of it like being stuck in a mental elevator. To get out, you need to force the doors open with physical action. This is the body over mind rule. When you're caught in a thought loop, use your body to break the cycle. There are 2 incredibly effective physical escapes. The first is deep reset breathing. Close your eyes and take slow, deep breaths for a couple of minutes. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. This calms your nervous system and short circuits the fight or flight response that fuels anxiety. The second is a cold splash. Splash your face with cold water, or, if you're brave, take a 30-second cold shower. The shock of the cold water triggers a physiological response that instantly pulls your brain out of its abstract worries and into the physical present moment. Rule 5, the worst case gym. Anxiety makes you mentally weak. It presents you with vague, terrifying monsters in the dark, and your mind runs from them without ever getting a good look. It's time to turn on the lights and train your perspective muscles. This is the worst case gym. Instead of avoiding your worst fears, you're going to confront them in a structured way. When you're worrying about something, take out a piece of paper and write down the absolute worst case scenario. Then, rate the likelihood of it actually happening. You'll usually find it's under 5%. Finally, create a concrete plan for how you would handle it if it did happen. For example, if I mess up the presentation, the worst case is my boss will be disappointed. It has a 10% chance of happening. My comeback plan is to ask for specific feedback and use it to improve for next time. This exercise transforms a vague, paralyzing panic into a concrete, manageable problem with a solution. You're building resilience by proving to your brain that you can handle even the worst outcome. Rule 6, the thought labeling trick. Pretend your brain is Netflix and it's constantly suggesting new shows for you to watch. Some of them are great, but many of them are terrible dramas and horror movies you have no interest in. You don't have to watch every show it recommends. This is the thought labeling trick. Instead of getting sucked into the plot of every anxious thought, simply label it like a movie genre. That recurring memory of an embarrassing moment, that's past cringe, nostalgia horror film, the endless what ifs about the future, that's future drama. The thought that you're not good enough, that's a psychological thriller. Just by labeling the thought, you create distance. You shift from being the actor in the drama to being the viewer in the audience. This simple act of observation strips the thoughts of their emotional power and reminds you that they are just mental events, not objective reality. Rule 7, the replacement rule. Your mind is like a web browser with way too many tabs open. The more tabs you have open, the slower everything runs and the more likely it is to crash. You can't just will the stressful tabs away. You have to close them by opening something else. This is the replacement rule. When you're caught in a spiral of overthinking, you need to actively replace that thought with a different, more engaging one. Your brain can't focus on two complex tasks at once. Break the loop by giving it a simple, distracting mind game to play. Try counting backward from 100 by threes. Play a memory game, like naming all the Pixar movies you can think of. Or do a color search. Spot 5 blue things nearby. You're not ignoring your problems forever. You're just giving your brain a much-needed break so it can reset and think more clearly later. Overthinking isn't a sign that you're broken. It's just a sign that your brain is stuck in a bad habit. The big secret is that overthinking isn't real thinking. Real thinking leads to solutions and clarity. Overthinking is just a hamster wheel that keeps you stuck and exhausted. The moment you notice you're overthinking is the moment you have the power to stop.